But one of those early jackets was some sort of biker jacket, black leather and badass. And who knows why my parents let a 12-year-old kid sport such a thing. I paid for it out of money I saved mowing lawns and shoveling snow. It was dear to me. When I put it on, I felt like a god. I never outgrew it. One day, out in the dried marsh grass of South Jersey, my friends and I were playing firemen, lighting fires and putting them out. One of those fires got out of control, coughing like crazy from the smoke, getting burned. I used that jacket to beat like a wild man at the flames. The fire destroyed a few acres. It also destroyed my jacket. I was devastated. I don't know how many jackets I bought in the years after that. Suede and smooth, brown and black, fashion and functional. I don't know what happened to most of them in the course of my many moves across America and many decades. One I just recently gave to my daughter for Christmas. I still keep a few, an oversized shot cafe racer that hangs loosely on me when I don't have a huge sweater underneath, an oversized Avrix bomber that looks like it's been through a war, a fashion lambskin jacket that I rarely wear but I still like a good deal, a Teddy Phoenix that might have been nearly perfect except for the odd fit in several places, and the discomfort of padded shoulders and elbows, and the chafing in the armpits. Theodoros Pampoukas isn't too compromising when it comes to how he thinks his jacket should fit. And that fit pretty much demands high armholes that don't quite work for me. And so, one cold winter day, I contacted David Himel, founder of Himel Bros Leather. I told him what I was looking for and something of my quest. A short while later, he called me. We had a long conversation, and not just about leather jackets, though David's knowledge about leather and haberdashery in general is practically encyclopedic. There's an E in there. In fact, he knows so much about so much that he's practically a polymath, along with being a very engaging raconteur who loves telling stories. I don't know how long our first conversation lasted. After we exchanged numerous texts, photos of leather and jackets I liked, photos of leathers available, discussions as to the merits of shinky pigment versus aniline and horsehide versus goat and that sort of thing. It took me a while to decide on the shinky drum-dyed oil finish double black, as David calls it. I'd known for years that I wanted a cafe racer, and Himel's racer is called the Kensington, named after the neighborhood in Toronto where David's people lived. There's some pictures. Then came the hard part, and no, I don't mean pressing the various buttons on my computer that led to lots of money vanishing from my account and appearing in David's. I'd prepared and saved for the moment. It's not a simple thing to make a jacket for someone long distance. I went to a tailor who took my measurements. I mailed David pictures of me wearing various jackets, especially my Teddy Phoenix. I told him what I liked and didn't like about it. Then I mailed the Phoenix to him so he could measure it in person and make adjustments to the Kensington. During this phase, lasting 6 weeks or so, I worked mainly with David's assistant of many years, Reilly. She was incredibly polite, professional, and patient, even when I asked what probably seemed to her some pretty dumb questions. Reilly, in concert with David and Himel's great seamstress, May, decided that they needed to make and mail me a fit jacket out of cloth. I don't know if Himel does this for everyone or needs to, but in my case it was necessary because I have a hard to fit body, a big drop between my chest and waist, and a double curvature of the spine, which resulted in me being round shouldered. The fit jacket arrived. I tried it on and took pictures. Then May went to work on the last of Himel's store of double black shinky. There was a shortage at the time. I know that others in the Fedora Lounge have posted pictures of Himel's jackets with a few irregular stitches and have complained bitterly about the workmanship of Himel's jackets. Fucking douchebags. Especially in relation to that of perfectly sewn freewheelers or rainbow country jackets. I can't speak knowledgeably about these Japanese jackets as I've never met one person. I've never considered trying one on, as Japanese bodies are very different from mine, and I doubt that any jacket in Japan off the rack would fit me. I can say a good bit about my Kensington. When the finished jacket arrived 81 days from my initial phone call with David to the delivery, I was blown away. I thought the jacket was beautiful. I guess I sort of fell in love. Despite my better judgment, prompted by the aforementioned reviews in Fedora Lounge, I got out my glasses to examine my new jacket's seams. Maybe others with a better eye than mine would disagree, but I couldn't find a stitch out of place or a flaw in construction. I was almost disappointed. I wanted to say why. To me, after having worn the jacket a good bit, those who complain and cavil, I don't know that word, about a couple of crooked stitches seem to me silly. It's like you've been searching for a bride for a long time, and then you finally meet a beautiful woman, the woman of your dreams. She's been made for you, just for you, and her rich, lustrous skin awaits your touch and longs to become one with yours. And then this amazing woman smiles at you as no one ever has, and where your world should light up, you should glory in the totality of this beautiful woman. You observe that a couple of her teeth are crooked, and you say, "I've been let down, you're not perfect, even though you might have been perfect for me." There's something else. The Japanese, this is ironic, have long built into their aesthetics and their philosophy the idea of wabi-sabi, the imperfection of things that reveal a deeper beauty. Japanese potters purposefully place flaws in their teacups, and they would probably laugh at perfectly sewn freewheelers jackets. It's the same sort of thing with Native American jewelers. They prize most highly not the pure blue turquoise, but stones with black spiderweb matrix, or gold or silver like pyrite flaws. And shouldn't this make sense to any leather jacket lover? Why is an elbow crease but a breaking of a new jacket's perfection? Don't we all seek the well broken in jacket whose patina, every fade, wrinkle, and nick bespeaks of our experience with the jacket and identifies it as uniquely our own? If it is not already clear, I really love this jacket. How much? I've considered moving to San Diego or some other place more temperate than Colorado so I can wear the jacket more or less year round. Kind of crazy, yes. But aren't all of us leather jacket lovers a little crazy? I want to end this mentioning what I think is a deeper reason why so many of us are in love with our leather jackets. The living, beating heart of my long quest, the cool. Cloth jackets do a better job of almost anything from protecting us against the cold and rain, at a fraction of the price, with greater comfort. Even for those who ride, an armored cloth jacket will protect us. Better protection from a spill than even the toughest horsehide. True, such jackets don't feel good to the hand, and they don't smell as good. And above all, they're not as cool. In the Joel Dinerstein's great book, The Origins of Cool in Post-War America, which I haven't read, Dinerstein tries to give us a sense of what cool is and define it. Maintaining dignity against oppressive authority, a public mode of covert resistance, grace under pressure, a sort of relaxed intensity, being authentic, perhaps above all historically, an expression of faith in the integrity and the agency of the individual in the face of depression, war, occupation, segregation, and the threat of nuclear annihilation. Leather jackets are cool, and the Himel Kensington is the coolest of the cool. But you can't buy cool, no matter how many jackets you own or how much money you shell out. What you can do, though, is to deck yourself out in a jacket so well made and so right for you that you feel like a deeper and more real version of yourself when you're wearing it. For me, putting on my Kensington is a way of reminding myself to be cool, as my black brothers used to say when I was a young man. That, of course, remains a lifelong quest, even though my quest for the perfect jacket has ended. I don't mean to say, by the way, that I think my jacket is perfect. I'm not wild about the cotton drill lining the cotton sateen would make for an easier exit and entrance of this fitted jacket. And I suspect I might have been happier with an extra half inch in both shoulders, as May initially suggested, and probably I foolishly vetoed. But I love it. and it's beginning to love me, and I've better things to do with my life than endlessly buy more jackets. This mighty triumvirate of David, Reilly, and May has built me a very great jacket, and I am content at last. There you go. That's a fucking lovely review. Jeez, it makes me weep. Anyway.